already covered all of the big main ones. So I'm sort of trying to think, not completely outside the box, but trying to think of different ways we can categorise conspiracy theories. So as you can tell, we're going to be taking a little look at some conspiracy theories regarding some celebrities. You'll have to let me know if you do enjoy this, because obviously there are a lot of conspiracy theories regarding celebrities. So there's definitely space to do a part 2, 3, even a part 4. So yeah, let me know what you think. Tonight, if my memory serves me correctly, we've got 4 conspiracy theories to talk through. Most of them are pretty funny, to be honest, so it should hopefully be entertaining as well as relaxing. That is always the aim here. Before we get into number 1, of course, I just want to start this video by saying this is all alleged. It's not fact. This video is purely parody. Please, celebrities, no one have me killed, okay? It's all alleged. This is a parody. Thanks. Let's start off super strong with conspiracy theory number 1. Avril Lavigne was replaced. Origins of this theory. So the earliest source of the theory comes from a Brazilian Avril Lavigne fan page. That's title roughly translates to Avril Lavigne died and was replaced by a lookalike. The blog was posted in 2011, and it's possible that many people didn't translate it completely. Even the writer admits they wanted to pull together coincidences to create their own conspiracy theory. A portion of their blog translated conveys that the theory is based on real elements presented in a persuasive way, but that it isn't fact. Well, that just ruins it completely. The conspiracy theory goes that Avril Lavigne signed $1 million contract to a record label, which is true, of course. Her first album went on to be a massive success. The blogger then speculates that perhaps Lavine could have become depressed due to the sudden fame, and they point to some of her angstier lyrics. The author theorises that the singer may have died, which there is no evidence to support, even going as far to suggest that she was then replaced so that the record label could continue making money. Fans latched onto the conspiracy, especially after a BuzzFeed writer tweeted about the blog and bolstered it to viral levels. Since then, the theory has spun out of control, and people even have a name for a so-called replacement. Which brings us on to the next section. Who is Melissa? People who believe in or just enjoy contributing to the theory that Lavine was replaced have created a name for the double, Melissa Vandella. Some versions of the theory suggest that Lavine hired an actress named Melissa, who bears an uncanny resemblance to Lavine due to pressure stemming from her fame. However, others suggest that the double is a clone made by a record company. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, the whole thing's pretty ridiculous, but that's where I draw the line. So, where's the evidence? The invested conspiracy theorists will point to a number of coincidences to defend the theory. For one, fans say that her style has changed too much for it to be the same person. There are also certain lyrics that people point out when defending the theory, like in the song Together, where conspiracy theorists look at the line, "The truth isn't far behind me," and think this is actually Melissa sending a message. Die-hard fans of Lavine's initial style also use the theory as a way to explain Lavine's deviation from the style they fell in love with. They think that where the original Avril Lavigne would wear pants and a tie, it must be her clone wearing dresses. The strange thing is, and there are many strange things about this theory, other celebrities have changed their fashion and genre without the public thinking they've been replaced. Taylor Swift went from country to pop, and people didn't tweet that she was a clone. Afro has answered the conspiracy. despite the fact that the original blogger admits in the blog itself that it was a theory to test how much people will believe, and the BuzzFeed staff member can pinpoint that their tweet about the blog is what made the theory go viral. Some people refuse to be satiated. I've never seen that word before in my life. Much like many other conspiracies, the more people deny it, the more it spurs believers to think they're onto something. Of course, if Bigfoot was real, it would make sense for people in the know to say he wasn't, right? But even Avril Lavine herself, or Melissa if you want to stick to the conspiracy, has addressed the clone claims. In 2018, Lavine commented on the double rumours during a radio interview. Interesting. I mean, this was one of two that out of the 4 theories in this video that I knew coming into it. So that just sort of shows how widespread it became, and it literally just started from a blog. There isn't really great evidence, but I mean it's pretty funny. And maybe it's true, maybe Melissa did replace her, maybe Avril Lavigne did die. We'll never know for sure. Well, we technically could know for sure, but... Okay, the next one is a bit juicy, and like I said in the intro, all alleged. This is parody, we're just having fun. Beyonce is in the Illuminati. Beyonce is many things to many people. Muse, icon, trailblazer, Sasha Fierce. But there's one label that she may not be so quick to claim. Illuminati. The pop goddess has been dogged with rumoured links to the super secret society for years, with conspiracy theorists pointing to her and her husband Jay-Z as the reigning king and queen of this centuries-old organisation. But how did the Lemonade singer come to be associated with the Illuminati in the first place? And who or what are the Illuminati anyway? And perhaps most importantly, why does it matter if she is in fact a reigning member of the secret society? Good questions, not so easy answers. Queen Bey's affiliation with the Illuminati actually stems from a relationship with husband Jay-Z, who has been linked to the powerful secret society since the late 90s. As Hova rose to success with a string of platinum albums, starting with 1996's Reasonable Doubt, and spanning In My Lifetime, Volume 1, Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, and Volume 3, Life and Times of S. Carter. Conspiracy theorists began to speculate that the music mogul's powers extended beyond mere talent and bravado. In their eyes, Jay-Z was actually a member of the Illuminati, an exclusive group made up of the intellectual and political elite, which literally run the world. Add that to the fact that the signature hand sign for Jay-Z's Rock Nation involves holding both palms up in a triangle formation, believed to be a nod to the triangle symbol that represents the Illuminati. And it starts to become clear how and why theorists see hints of the couple's membership everywhere. Beyonce's stunning 2013 Super Bowl performance, for instance, gave conspiracy theorists whiplash when she flashed the Rock Nation hand symbol at halftime, a move theorists pointed to as evidence of her allegiance to the Illuminati. Theorists also point to Beyonce's music videos, which are notoriously rife with symbolism, as hints at the singer's double life as the queen of the Illuminati. Her Grammy-nominated 2008 music video for Single Ladies has drawn particular interest from theorists, with some claiming that messages can be heard when the song is played in reverse. The far reaches of the internet even link Beyonce's rise to fame with R&B singer Alia's untimely 2001 death, with theories claiming that Alia was killed because she had tried to get out from under the Illuminati's control. According to that narrative, Alia was meant to be the rightful queen of the music industry, but after her death, Beyonce stepped in to take her place. Beyonce and Jay-Z aren't the only hit makers celebrities who are suspected of being members of the elusive Illuminati either. Whitney Houston, Justin Bieber, Bono, Eminem, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne and Dr. Dre are among those believed to be among the chosen ones as well, using their collective powers to lead the New World Order. But as of now, none of the theories have been confirmed, though Beyonce has been forced to address the ever-present conspiracies in the best way she knows how, in song. Her 2016 hit Formation even kicks off with a line hitting back at the rumours. "Your latest corny with all that Illuminati mess," she croons in the first refrain. Pretty soon though, the hook kicks in, and fans quickly forget about the Illuminati reference, instead watching her tackle much more important issues. A convenient distraction, perhaps. I mean, this one, I was going to say it's more convincing than the Afro Lavine one, but I'm not really too sure about that. One issue I take with like celebrities being in the Illuminati and doing that, that sign, being an indicator that they're in it. If it's such a secret society, why at like a Super Bowl performance would they do that to like reveal that they're in it? If you want to keep it a secret, surely keep your hands down. That's just what I think. So, we're going to get a little bit more crazy with this next one. Justin Bieber is a reptile. Yeah, you heard right. Forget everything you thought you knew about fake news or snake you news. It's all about lizards. Lizards called Justin Bieber. I mean, what an opening to this article. Look, we know the internet is a place where theories about world leaders and celebrities being reptiles in disguise abound. But when said theories make it to mainstream news, it's time to worry. According to some very reputable sources we've never heard of, Australian news website Birth Now published a story during Bieber's recent visit that claimed hundreds of witnesses saw their idol turn into a giant reptile. God, not this again, this says. The alleged story allegedly interviewed several witnesses who served up some very exciting quotes, like, "There were girls hiding in toilets crying, guys were running for the exits, jumping in taxis to get out of there. Because I know the first thing I do when a pop star shapeshifts into a lizard in front of me is notice how each gender of witnesses respond." Yes, pretty fair point. Apparently, Bieber as a reptile has a black stripe down the middle and big scaly claws that lash out angrily. Your newswire, who keeps suggesting we're living in a golden age of reptilian sightings, claimed the article was deleted without a trace within an hour of publication. Suspicious, maybe. Ridiculous. Hey, you're the one still reading. Being a reputable news source, your newswire have found some witnesses of their own too, albeit from the morning after the airport incident. You see, a local skater reportedly told them he saw Bieber transform into a lizard at Leederville skate park in Perth. He was hanging around with this big guy, his bodyguard I guess, and we were just staring because he kept turning into a huge reptile, said the unnamed and definitely real skater. His bodyguard was pointing at us, shouting that he'd kick our teeth in if we didn't put our phones away. Cool story, bro. Interestingly, witnesses also allegedly say Bieber is a female reptilian. Get it right, media. Poor Birth Now, being brought into this mess. For the record, the publication's editor, Emily Moulton, says clearly the article screenshotted did not appear on Birth Now. Ever, there is no full URL, and we don't use capitals for every word in headlines. She would say that though, wouldn't she? Just kidding, but the truth is out there. Wake up, people. I mean, rubbish, isn't it? But I read it and laughed, so I thought I would include it. And you never know. Maybe he is a reptile. Maybe the world's most influential people are in fact reptiles. We don't know. Now, I've saved the longest one till last, and there's some pretty compelling evidence here. Conspiracy theory 4, are you ready? Is Keanu Reeves is immortal. Now, I hadn't heard about this theory before doing some research, but it's pretty convincing, and I'm going to convince you. So, there is something very strange about Keanu Reeves that must be addressed. Has any actor in Hollywood aged better than the John Wick star? Have you ever wondered how he has kept his youthful, rugged looks over a career spanning nearly more than 30 years? Perhaps the secret is that Keanu Reeves simply does not age at all. Perhaps you find the idea of Keanu Reeves as an immortal being ridiculous and convoluted as the plot of the Matrix sequels is, but this theory is no laughing matter. Not laughing. In fact, signs of the Matrix actor's eternal youth have been right in front of us for centuries. Centuries, right, okay. And only those with keen eyes have been savvy enough to notice. It is time to attack this conundrum head-on, as I will present, explain and overanalyze the known evidence to support this theory in the following investigative piece. It's a great ASMR word, investigative. Soon, we should figure out once and for all the truth. Is Keanu Reeves immortal? Clue number 1. Keanu Reeves has assumed multiple identities throughout history. The throat just made a lovely noise for you all there. New trigger. Keanu Reeves' name has been a subject of fascination on its own. It is such a unique movie star kind of name. It sounds as if it could be made up. That is precisely what it is. While Keanu Reeves claims to have been born on September 2nd, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon, further investigation suggests that Reeves may have been born as early as 742 AD in Germany, when it was still called Francia, or Francia. It was there when he would rule the Frankish kingdom and later succeed the throne of the Holy Roman Empire as Charlemagne. According to the official investigative website, Keanu Reeves is immortal. Other than Keanu Reeves' striking resemblance to the ancient emperor, the history of Charlemagne's reign provides deeper insight into how the actor meticulously kept his eternal youth a secret. Charlemagne's son, Louis the Pious, succeeded the throne almost immediately before his death in 800 AD. It is almost as if he knew that he was going to die, which suggests that he was planning to fake his death the entire time. As the theory suggests, after his supposed death, Charlemagne managed to maintain his anonymity for more than another 1,000 years, a relatively safe route when wanting to avoid being recognised. By the late 19th century, the actor we now refer to as Keanu Reeves fell in love with his chosen profession for the first time. Upon arriving in France around at least 18 AD, he invented a new identity, Jean-Monnet Sully, before adopting the stage name Paul Mounet to pursue a career in stage acting. As Mounet, Keanu Reeves starred in multiple theatrical productions, studying the work William Shakespeare before transitioning into films from 1909 until 1917. Watching Mounet perform in a 1913 adaptation of the Oedipus Rex in the video below, I'll play it on screen if I can, you can see him crafting the perplexed expression in his performance that he would make his signature approach as Keanu Reeves decades later. It is also well known that Mounet studied medicine before becoming an actor. This so perfectly said that Paul Monet died of heart failure in 1922, yet additional investigation by the experts from the Keanu Reeves is Immortal website reports that his body was never recovered. Very sly, Keanu, very sly. Charlemagne and Paul Monet are the only known historical figures we know of whom Keanu Reeves more than likely was at one point in time. We cannot even be sure at what point he was truly born. What we can infer from his seemingly timeless existence is this... And that takes us on to clue 2. Keanu Reeves' immortality is the reason for his kindness and wisdom. Rarely are A-list movie stars as philanthropic and down-to-earth as Keanu Reeves. The only possible explanation, this says, is that he has lived through enough various experiences over many centuries to humble him. Keanu Reeves has lived the life of a king and was a pioneer of the film industry since its infancy. The temptations that come with celebrity have no authority over a man with this kind of experience. Keanu Reeves even gave away his own secret when questioned about his charitable efforts in a 2003 interview, stating, "Money is the last thing I think about. I could live on what I have already made for the next few centuries." Why would Keanu Reeves need money for the next few centuries? Probably because he will still be trucking along beyond then. Perhaps Keanu Reeves wishes he had not spoken so matter-of-factly about his immortality, as it has since led to these allegations. However, he seems to have been a good sport about it. Moving on to clue number 3. Keanu Reeves has never denied his immortality. Keanu Reeves may have never won an Academy Award, nor has he ever been considered a critical darling in terms of performance throughout his career. However, it is clear that he is our greatest living actor from how convincingly he has hid his eternal youth. From ruling the Roman Empire to hiding in plain sight for more than a millennium, to achieving movie stardom twice within a little more than a century, Keanu Reeves has always been ahead of the curve and has been able to downplay allegations of his condition effortlessly. Just take it from this 2017 interview on The Tonight Show, in which host Jimmy Fallon addresses the known theory. First, Keanu Reeves circumvents Jimmy Fallon's fascination over the actor's name with an entertaining tale over its origin by incorporating the distracting pseudonym Chuck Spadina. Notice how Chuck is shorthand for Charles, which is shorthand for Charlemagne. I'm beginning to believe this 100%. Next, as soon as Fallon brings up the revolutionary findings from the Keanu Reeves' Immortal website, he boasts a more reserved expression before squirming in his seat with concern that he has been found out. That is until Fallon, seemingly ignorant of the weight of the evidence, refers to Reeves' past identities as old dudes who just look like him, forcing an awkward, relieved laugh from Reeves. Then, as Jimmy Fallon proceeds to present the evidence, Keanu Reeves calls out what sounds to be a modest attempt at an explanation. "We're all stardust, baby. This is just vague and charming enough to throw the average fan off his trail." And now, clue 4. Keanu Reeves has been sneaking his autobiography into his sci-fi movies. Hear me out. Keanu Reeves found his breakout role in 1989 as Ted Theodore Logan in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, about a California teen and his buddy who get a chance to write the perfect history presentation by using a time-travelling phone booth to study historical figures firsthand. 10 years later, in The Matrix, he played an average average man who discovers his existence in 1999 LA is merely a futuristic computer program. In 2006, Keanu Reeves reunited with his Speed co-star Sandra Bullock in a romantic drama about a couple living 2 years apart who send love letters to each other through a magical time-travelling mailbox in the Lake House. As you can see, time travel plays a huge theme throughout most of his career. Why? Because Keanu Reeves is more than qualified to play a time traveller on screen, as he is one himself. Keanu Reeves has seen our dark future, which he revealed to the Wachowskis, who turned it into an action-packed dystopian trilogy. He has seen the past, which explains the paintings he has shown up in, and made friends with several historical figures along the way, which inspired his uncredited treatment for Bill and Ted. His love life has always been a mystery, most likely because he prefers to keep his affair with a woman from the future private, despite also bitching that idea to Warner Brothers, which used it as a way to reunite him with Sandra Bullock. If none of that is enough to convince you, take a look at this still from the trailer for the upcoming video game Cyberpunk 2077. How do we know that it is not actual footage of Keanu Reeves from the future that the time traveller kindly allowed the creators at CD Projekt to use to promote their game? You can believe all you want that Keanu Reeves is just a kind, down-to-earth man of remarkable talent, but not such person exists. This man is either a mortal or a Time Lord, or a synthetic replica of his past self. The possibilities are endless with whatever Keanu Reeves is. All I know is that the evidence is here, and I will not give up until the truth is finally revealed. And there you have it. Do you think Keanu Reeves is immortal? I have to say, it's an absolutely brilliantly written article. Very entertaining. I really hope you did enjoy reading a lot of these, like, sort of parody articles. Sort of made me think that I think in a few weeks' time I'm going to test some new content on the channel, basically reading some stories on Reddit. I think eventually I'm going to do horror stories as like a series, but I kind of want to do like sort of funny, you wouldn't believe this happened type stories, if that makes sense, from Reddit, because there's some absolute gold out there, and they're going to be longer episodes, almost a bit like a podcast, but not really. The word podcast gets thrown about so much, doesn't it? But so keep an eye out for that. But that is going to do it for this video. I really hope